the more and more that I read this Bible and study this Bible and get a better understanding of it, the more I try to figure out what is it that to me, just me, Mark Anthony DuBose Jr., born July 4th of 1986, has really taken away as the common theme to be able to get me to really just appreciate it and be able to really upgrade my life. And that theme is gratitude. And that theme is gratitude towards oneself. And I just noticed that there's many stories, just story after story after story and story, that have a lot to do with worrying about the worldly things and worrying about more possessions, and worrying about more items and collecting stuff and collecting more coins and more gold. And it seems like a story after story after story that just keeps saying to us, that's just not going to bring you any sort of happiness, any sort of joy. But what will is being satisfied with what you already do have, and being satisfied with what is already around you, and being satisfied and grateful with what it is that you've been able to achieve so far, knowing that what you've been able to achieve is way greater than anything else that anyone else has been able to possibly do. That sometimes we look at our lives as if it's, I'm not where I want to be because I can see that person has a better purse than me. That person has a better pair of shoes than me. That person has a better car than me. That person has a better house than I do. That person has a hotter wife than mine. That person has more children than mine. Some people live life that way. We used to do that a lot, but today it's kind of going away. But a lot of times we're looking at it like we're not doing as good as them because they have that possession, that item, that physical matter more than what it is that you've been able to achieve from your entire life. Where you can even say to yourself, I'm a 50-year-old man, and that 25-year-old guy has been able to achieve more physical items than I have. So clearly he's having a better life. He's having a better experience. He's having a better joyous time on this planet because he's got more stuff. And you really can't look at this planet and this world and this life in any sort of way like that, because that's going to set you up for, I just see it as absolute failure. Because just looking at my day-to-day with why is it, Mark, that I've been able to just really upgrade what it is that I do and start to become more clear in my thinking, start to get away from anxiety and frustration, start to get away from depression and just harmful things like that of myself. And I start to just realize more and more of what it is that I do on a day-to-day is just looking at the overall theme of that book and just saying, I'm just happy with what I have. And I'm happy with what I've been able to achieve and what I've been able to do and where I've been able to go and who I've been able to communicate with and every relationship that I've ever been in. Even if it wasn't the greatest and the best and it turned out to be the best, I'm thankful that I was in it because I learned what I needed to learn from it to be able to do and be who I am today. That I can't look at anything from my past as if it was a mistake, it was a waste, it was worthless. None of that is worthless. All of that matters, and all of that is why I am who I am today. And I am extremely appreciative and grateful for that. And the more that I started to understand that, the more I started to just really upgrade what I am and what I do and who I am and what I'm able to continue to keep doing without having any sort of negative feelings about who I am and where I am. Because I can always look at somebody else, half my age even, and say, you have more stuff than I have. And make myself just in a rampage of what am I doing wrong? Why can't I have? What's wrong with me? Why are my skills not strong enough? Why don't I have this? I could go down that hole. But I also could go down the understanding of knowing that person being half my age and having twice the stuff or 5 times or 100 times the stuff doesn't have nowhere near the, what is that word? Experience that I've been able to have and been able to be a part of on this planet. That the experience that I have had has been interesting, and it's one that's been able to put me in a position that you could challenge me, but I'm not one to just quit and fold and just cry down and just give up and just I don't know hows. And my experiences have been able to lead me into being someone that's able to just stand up regardless of what happens. Someone that's able to stand up regardless of what you're going to say to me. I don't care what you say to me. I'm going to keep on moving and doing what it is that I need to do. It's been able to lead me into being something completely not different than any other human being on this planet, but just different in having an understanding of I have what I have and I don't care what you have. And that just really calms me down. It really relaxes me. It really makes me not be in a race with anybody else except for my own self. When I look at what I have and what I'm doing, I'm not looking at, oh, that person has 5 dogs all looking good. I need to get 6 or 7 to be able to match and do what they do. No, I'm just like, hey, I got what I have, and I'm going to maximize what I have. And me just even being more of knowing what it is that I do, that I could look at worst case scenarios of stuff that I've had, that I've been working on and building it up, and I've come to realize like that's more awesome than anything else. Stuff that no one can see, stuff that nobody knows about, stuff that I would in reality never even share about, because it's just personal things that are going on with me, that I can look at that and say to myself, like, wow, I've come a long way. I've done a lot. It's been a massive transformation from where I started with this compared to where I am today. And does the rest of the world care about it? No. Does the rest of the world care about how my dog May looks today and she still looks a little off? She's still not the greatest? No. But compared to where she was when I got her, that's not a story to in reality tell. No one wants to hear it. No one wants to see it. No one really cares about taking a dog and taking them from super scared of everything. You speak, you move, you do anything, it's just terrible. Nobody cares for that story of watching them get built up, build their confidence up, and get them to be in a nice, calm, relaxed place. Nobody cares for that. People care more about if your dog can go get you a drink out of the fridge and shut the fridge door, which I appreciate that, but that's easy. What's really challenging, what's really hard is being able to build something up and being able to take care of it on a day-to-day and not giving up and not quitting, not leading to frustration, not leading to just, I'm not good enough and I'm not capable of. But being grateful for what it is that I do have, and being grateful for what it is that is around me, and being grateful for every single scenario that comes to me, and being grateful for everything that I put myself into to do. That there's things that I step into where I'm just like, I'm not sure, this is real rocky, this is super confusing. But I appreciate being able to get into that and have that and being able to do that. I appreciate and I'm super grateful for just every little thing. And that's what makes me just, I'm telling you guys, that's the key to success on this planet. Is to stop thriving and striving for what it is that other people have and be thankful and grateful for what it is that you do have. Because what you don't have, what is it? It's nothingness. And if you want it, then go get it. I'm going to say that simple, not that simple with maybe all items on this planet, but in reality, it is that simple. If you just put all of what you want into getting that, it's so easy to get. But the problem is you're going to get it and you're going to get yourself to a situation where you're just not happy at all. You're not satisfied at all. You're going to run into absolute frustration because it's just not, it didn't give you the overall what you were looking for from getting that item. Getting that item is not setting you up to be able to make sure that you are just good to go, you are happy, you are relaxed, you are calm. It's actually just going to get you more frantic and more excited and more anxious because you're going to get it and you're going to realize, man, that wasn't it. Because I'm telling you, the next stuff isn't it. Being grateful for what you do have right now is it. That's the way. That's the key. That's the awesome thing to work on and pay attention to. That down to the bowls and the plates and the silverware, down to the sheets and the bed and the pillows, down to where you're able to lay your head, down to every little thing on this planet. Be grateful for what you have right here, right now, because what you have right here, right now is an absolute blessing. Because you started with absolutely nothing. You started with no clothes. You started with no nothing at all. And now you have something. Some of us would say, I don't have this. I don't have a nice house. All I live in is a tent. You didn't come to this planet with a tent. You didn't come to this planet with the utensils to be able to survive. You didn't come to this planet with the skill set that someone would say, Mark, you're weird for saying this, but you have an extreme amount of skill set to be even a homeless person on this planet. That is so hard to do. That is not easy. That is some of the toughest way of living. And I don't think a lot of people realize that and even have a good understanding of it. You're always looking at, I'm living in lack and I don't have enough and I'm not there and I can't have. But you're not realizing that your life experience is an absolute amazing one. That you're able to do some extreme, incredible things that another human being just couldn't possibly even handle. That if they had to run into that situation, which we hear the story all the time of wealthy people and not even middle-class people that happen to lose it all and bankrupt it all and they harm themselves and they end themselves because they can't live and they can't survive. They don't know how to live without the car, without the house, without the wife and the kids, and they don't know how to do it. They just give up. They give up on the world. But there's some people on this planet that don't have a roof, a solid one, and you're making it. And that's something to be extremely grateful for, is being able to have that experience to be able to do such a thing. Because I'm telling you, that's not easy. And the only way that you're going to be able to upgrade from where you currently are is having that gratitude behind where you are right now. Because you're never going to have that next thing. Because I'm telling you, when you get that next thing, you're not going to appreciate it. You're just going to push it off to the side as if that wasn't good enough. Because there's always 100% case on this. There's always someone that's doing more and better than you. Always. There's a rare instance in cases that we can use never and always. That's one thing we learned in the dog training school that really put a lot of thought in me about. That is true. But when it comes to this concept There's always 100% going to be somebody on this planet that is doing more, has more, and has been more places and done more stuff than you ever have been able to possibly do. That's just a fact. And once you know that that's a fact, and once you understand that you could watch and study these people and realize that they're still not where they want to be because they're still trying to gain more and more and more and more and more. They're still trying to go more, but yet they're not trying to give back. They're not trying to help out the next, but they're still trying to get more. So that should just kind of let you know a little bit of like, maybe that's not the route to go. Maybe having 30 cars and thinking you got all the newest, the hottest ones and talking about you got the next one, maybe that's not true success because the people just keep on having to do it. Maybe going out and going to the clubs and partying and going all these places and trying to hook up with all these kind of people all the time, maybe that's not the key to success because the people that are doing that are still doing that and they're not getting out of it. And they're just constantly running and running and running. And even though they'll say they're happy, they'll throw on a screen, on a phone, on a camera, and they'll take videos and little snapshots and say that they're happy. But I'm going to tell you this, that I know majority of us go home, and when we're just silent, when we're sitting in our car, when we're just sitting in the back on break at work, you're having these thoughts of, man, I'm just not good enough. I'm not where I want to be. I don't have enough. I know you're going through those thoughts. And the only way you're going to get out of those thoughts is by understanding that what you have right now, right this second, is more than enough. Is way more, is too much actually. And some of it you should just give away because that's another huge lesson that's taught a lot in the Bible is talking about giving stuff away that you currently have because you do have too much. You've got too much. All of us have too much. Even if you just have one fork and all you have is a fork and a tent, you still have too much. You got too much. Someone else has a little bit less than what you have and you could give it to them because in reality, majority of what we have and what we have acquired, we can do it again. We can get it again. And the next time we get it, we'll get it in a different way, in a different sense. Because something in me I got a little frustrated at myself the other day because I wanted to do something that was of ease of access instead of doing something that I knew I already had. And that was buying 4 pieces of wood, where I know I've got it all out here already. And I'm grateful to be able to have the overabundance of just random stuff out here. But sometimes it takes me an extra 10 minutes to just pull nails out, pull staples out, and fix it up and cut the ends off and get it the size I want, as opposed to just going to the store and getting it. And I just felt like me. I just wasted $15 of my life to get something that I already had. And it just put a lot in me to just make me, it just put the wrong sense in me of I'm not being grateful for what I have. And if I'm going to constantly think about going out and trying to get new and get this and getting that and not being grateful for what I have, I'm not going to be able to go and get to that next. I'm not going to be able to have that next life experience. I'm not going to be able to have that next item to be able to actually be able to fulfill me. Because in reality, what I got wasn't enough. And I'm trying to make it work, but it's not what I actually wanted. So I have to use it because I got it and I already have it. But it just put me in a non-appreciative type way of thinking and being because I already had what I needed and I just decided not to use it. And that made me just go right down that old rabbit hole that I felt like I used to be a part of not being grateful and appreciative of what I have. And thinking and feeling as if that if I got that next new thing, that things would be better. And then I just come to realize just the other day, like, Mark, you messed up, man. You're not being grateful for what's out there, for what's already available to you, for what's already free. It's already just sitting there. You got to spend an extra little bit of time into it, and you're going to complain about that extra little time as opposed to just getting it done. And that really got to me. It really got me thinking a lot. It got me thinking a lot about everything that's out here that it is that I do, on why I've been able to just so easily, I'm going to say even, just relax from what I see others have and others do. Because I could look at my neighbor over here and just every day say like, wow, man, that's incredible. Because I see him working all the time. He's got guys, he hires guys, like a dozen of his guys to work his land. It's incredible to me. I'm like, I wish I could have that for just an hour. I could look at that every day and just say, man, I wish, and I wish. But instead I could say to myself, I can get it done myself. I could do this over here. I can make this happen over here. What else do I have to do right now in reality that's going to be more beneficial for my personal experience than just doing it and getting it done and being thankful to even have the opportunity to be able to be out here doing what it is that I'm doing. And that's something that just puts a lot of thought in me. And especially trying to be on the social media stuff and trying to be on a person that makes videos and puts them on the internet, I could look at someone else and say, you're doing way better than me. You got this, you got that, you got this set up, you got that set up. You got 8 people in the background working, doing stuff for you. You got your videos all right, the editing's all right, and the color picture's all right, and all that's all right. It's all just pristine. like professional level. I could look at everything everybody's doing and just, I'm not going to keep going at this. But yet, I don't care because I know what it is that I have. I'm very appreciative of it. That even just this past couple of months, I've given up on even trying to upgrade my equipment because I'm just appreciative and grateful for what it is that I do have. That it works and it still works. And it's old. I'm impressed in reality. It's old and it still works and it still does what I need it to do. And it still is going to be able to get my speech, my message, my thoughts across. It's still going to be able to get it out there for everyone to be able to see. Do I wish I had certain things that make it ease of access and make it faster for me, make it more efficient? Yeah. But if I have something that works, why not just continue to keep using it and working with it? Because that's the only way that things are going to be able to come to me is once I'm just extremely satisfied with what it is that I do have. And with that, I just want to say thank you. And thank you for today for another very interesting day. That today I went for, in reality, I think the longest run that I've ever done outside ever in my life. I always used to do long runs on treadmills, but now I'm officially in a whole new realm of, I'm starting to officially train, and I'm so thankful for that. I'm starting to train for, I want to start doing some real races and starting to really get out there and start competing and start to get back into something that I really, really, really loved when I was younger, and just to start doing it and start just not even just doing it, but really excel at it and really pushing myself. That there's something in me that I don't know why, but I know that this is with a lot of people as well, because I hear this quite often, that you like pushing yourself to get tired. You like pushing yourself to just get exhausted. You like pushing yourself to sleep. And that's what I do sometimes, and that's what I did today. I pushed myself so hard to sleep that I got home and I just had a nap. I had to bring it down because I couldn't even function. I just did a lot. But it doesn't deter me from, let's do it again tomorrow. And there's some of us that are just hardcore like that we just need to keep doing that. We need to stay at that. And if you don't do that, you're not going to be able to find the success that you're looking for, because you're not taking advantage of what it is that you have now. And then you're going to look at it later on, and when you're 60, 70, 80 years old, say, man, I wish I could have done that. I wish I could have been a part of this. I wish I would have been there. I wish I could have experienced that. Instead of being in that, you're going to be in the situation of knowing that I did it. I made it happen. So what? I didn't have the fanciest car, but I got the fanciest trip that I took doing this race over here in this fancy country to be able to run this 100K, this 50K, this 30K, and just experience that and being around other people that want to do that. It's just something to me that just really, it's been awesome. It's been a difference. And I don't know what it is, but I like getting tired. It's something that I've been fighting and running away from for a really long time. And it's something that I started running away from even when I started turning a teenage boy. For some reason, I started to just push back at it, that I wish I didn't, because I don't know where I'd be today. But at the same time, I'm glad I did because of where I am today and what it is that my plan is today and what it is that I want to continue to keep doing today. And what it is that I want to keep on pursuing to be able to try to help other people today. That if I would have done what I did before, I'd have probably been very selfish and just kept working on myself and dedicated on only myself and just caring about myself and not worrying about trying to say something to someone to try to get them to understand there's more on this planet than thinking that you're going to get more. That this planet is all about just being grateful for what you have right now. And I'm just so thankful to be able to understand that and thankful to be able to be a part of that. Thankful to actually truly live that and not sit here and try to give you a message of the 10 steps of how to be successful and the 10 steps of how to be able to overcome fear and the 10 steps of how to be able to get over anxious feelings and 10 steps of how to not be depressed anymore and all those 10 steps that's not going to bring you anywhere. What is going to bring you anywhere is the one step. The one step of just being grateful and being excited and being thankful and just being gracious for what you have right here, right now. That's the one step. And that's the one theme I'm going to say of that book, the Bible, that is just absolutely empowering. It is super powerful. And I'm thankful to be able to be a person, to be able to spread that message and say something about that more and more people should start to have a better understanding of knowing what that book is actually about, as opposed to assuming what it's about and hearing some stories from someone that's not credible, that's not reliable, and hearing stories from someone that's not living it, that's not a part of it, and trying to adopt those stories to you yourself. Like, listen to someone who's credible, who knows it, who's studying it, who's researching, who lives it for one. They need to live it. If they don't live it and they're not living by the guidelines, they're not living by the commandments, they're not doing it, they're not a person that you should really get the information from the stories from. You need to hear it from people that are in it 100%, because they're going to be able to speak something to you that is real and that is true. And they're not going to be biased on, I don't this and I don't that. No, they're going to say it straight up what it is. And I hope that y'all are able to have a better understanding of knowing that more stuff, it's not going to get you nothing. Being grateful is going to give you absolutely everything on this planet. Thank you.